Hi guys, welcome to your first edition of Art at Home. Mrs. Kruger here. I got a project for you. 8th grade was working on this last week before we all went home. These are really awesome squash explosion books that I want to show you how to make so you can all do it at home. You probably have already everything you need, but here's what you do need. You're going to need a glue stick. Liquid glue works too. This works best, I find. Pair of scissors. You're going to need some paper. Computer paper works, notebook lined paper works. In a pinch, if you really don't have anything, you could recycle some newspaper or a page out of a magazine. Totally works. Piece of cardboard. I ripped open a piece of Nutri-Grain bar box of cereal, whatever works. This is really nice because it's really thin, easy to cut. Okay, so put that aside. We're going to start with our paper first. You want to fold this down into a square. So you're going to start with your big full sheet, your rectangle page. You're going to take the top corner and you're going to fold it down so that this side of your paper is going to line up with this side of your paper. So take that corner, sort of fold it down and line up these two edges here. So you have a nice, neat edge. You want it really lined up nice and crisp, okay? This piece at the end, you don't need that part. You can cut it off. Okay. Now I need 3 squares of paper that are all the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other papers here and I'm going to line up this square, okay, right on top of those papers so that they're all stacked up, and then I can just cut off the edges there to make sure they're all the same size. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to fold them. Okay. So, folding. Okay, because the inside of your book, these folds in the paper are what help it to squash up and explode back up. First step is you're going to take your square, fold it in half, this direction. Make sure you have a really nice crease on the edge. You don't want it to be sort of loosely folded. You really want to crease it, line it up on the table, feel it. Now you're going to hold your crease that you folded up and down vertical direction. Fold it the opposite way. Make sure your corners are really matching up, and again, a really nice crisp fold. So now when you open up your paper, you should have sort of a T shape in the middle, like a cross, okay? Now, with your paper, you have sort of 2 directions you can look at it. For this last fold, you got to make sure you get it in the right direction. So if you hold your paper like this, I call this sort of the mountain side, because your creases go up to sort of a point. If you hold it like this, your creases are going down, and that's sort of the valley, okay? You want it so that your creases are pointing up, so that if you set it on your table, your creases are pointing up. You've got your mountain pose, okay? Now, with your creases pointing up, you're going to take diagonally, your paper is going to fold from corner to corner, okay? So now I've got this. Now if you turn that fold back out and pop your center, you'll see that your paper sort of folds in, okay? So now you can sort of collapse it down like this, and you've got sort of this little birdie, like his beak. These are his wings, okay? You got to get your bird. So you got to do that 3 times. You got to have 3 of these little birds. So I've got my 3 little birds folded. One little bird. Okay, and I want you to sort of prop them up in front of you so that they're standing up. You want your bird standing. You don't want them laying on their wing. That's sad. Prop them up so that their beak is up in the front. Okay. I'm putting them out towards you so you can see, but I want you to prop your standing birds up so that they're facing you. Okay. So if you're looking at these birds right in front of you, here they are. They're lined up. Okay, you got your 3 little birds. Now I'm going to tell you a little story to help you figure out how these get folded together. Let me back up here a little bit so you can see all these. I've got my 3 little birds. Now remember, these are turned around so they're facing you, okay? So these are 3 little birdies, and their mom goes to get them food. She comes back with 1 worm, 3 babies. So she flies in. This little birdie is right in front of her, so she feeds him first, okay? He's hungry. He's going to turn around because he's not hungry anymore. Okay, so now you should have 2 of your birdies with their beaks facing you, and one should be facing away, okay? So now you can sort of see how these will fit together, okay? These two wings are opposite of each other, and they sort of fit right into each other, right like that. So let me try and show you this another way. I know it's hard to see, okay? Birdie facing away, birdie facing towards you, okay? And these wings sort of slide right into each other like that, and they're going to hold together. Okay, now these little birdies, these wings sort of slide right into each other as well. Okay, and that's how they sort of all fit together, and that way when you fold them all up, they collapse together like that. Okay, and that's how you're going to get this backwards, outwards fold of your squash book. Okay, so once you sort of have them, I'll line them up one more time. Okay, you're going to take your glue stick. Okay, if you're using liquid glue, just a teeny tiny little bit, little dots in the corners. That's all you need. Don't go crazy. Okay, but otherwise, I'm going to take these two. Okay, my birdie on the end that's facing me, I'm going to take that wing and I'm going to put glue on the inside of that wing. Okay. I've been finding that my glue mostly lifts up from the corners. Give it a good coat if you're using the glue stick. Again, if you have liquid glue, don't go crazy. Fit these two together, okay? And you might have to lay them out flat, but once you know the direction that they have to stick together, that's okay. Lay them out flat. Make sure they're stuck together really good. Seal those up, okay? And now these two should come together. And you should be able to fold it down. It's a little bit confusing. I know it. Play around with it. Keep going until you got it. If you glue them the wrong way, hopefully you have some paper. You could even start over, okay? Mistakes are learning opportunities, guys. We're learning something new. Mistakes happen. All right. So I'm going to now glue again. These two wings sort of fit right into each other. I'm going to put glue on the inside of this guy. Get the corners. And then I'm going to glue the inside of that one to the inside of this one. Okay. And you want to be careful with your edges. Okay. See how my glue ran over my edge here? Okay. Because if I fold this all up like this now and collapse my book up, those pages might stick together. So you want to make sure that you're letting it either dry, you're wiping it off, or making sure that you just get it where you want your glue to be and not making a mess everywhere. So now I've got my folded up pages. So this is what it's going to look like, okay? So now you want to start putting together the covers of your book. So you've got that cardboard box that we talked about earlier. So what you're going to do with your folded up interior pages, okay, because you want your covers to be the same size kind of as your pages. So fold down your book, okay, and you're going to just lay that on top of your cardboard so you can kind of see how big you need, okay? If your cardboard is a little bit bigger, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting around my edges here, just holding it on top, and then cutting around so that I have sort of a square, okay? And then what I can do is I laid this square on top of my other piece of cardboard, and I got two that are the same size. So now I've got my cardboard covers. You can do a couple different things with these if you'd like. Number one is you could take some colored paper. I have some pink construction paper. In class, we had access to origami paper. That's what we use there. You might not have that at home. You can just go back to your white printer paper and you can cover these with a piece of paper so that your covers are a nice pretty color. Or if you don't have that option or you want to try something different, you could paint these. If you have paint at home, that might be cool. You could also just take a magazine that you have at home. You could go through till you find some pictures that you like, cut those out, and you could collage and glue the pictures on the front. So totally up to you. I'm going to leave them plain now just for ease. So what I'm going to do is start gluing my folded up papers to my cardboard cover. So on one of the flat edges of my book, I'm just going to take my glue, put some glue on that edge, and then I'm going to put that right in the middle of my cardboard here, okay? And really starting to line it up so that it's right in the middle. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Mine is definitely not right now. It's all good. Smush it down. So now I've got my cardboard glued to one edge of that book. Then I'm going to take my other piece. I'm going to, again, glue on my paper, okay, because we don't want the outside edges of our cardboard to be all sticky if it's bigger than our paper. So I'm gluing right on the paper. Now, the important thing is not that the paper is centered right in the middle of the cardboard. You want this cardboard to line up with the other cardboard. So I like to glue it sort of face down like this and make sure that my two cardboards are kind of lined up. Okay? So you can see how the edges are not lined up perfectly. So if you can avoid that, go for it. Otherwise, again, we're all making mistakes here. It's all good. So now I've got my whole book. The covers are on it, and now I get to sort of decorate it, design it, do what I want on the inside. I can make a story, and then write on the inside of my book. I can draw the pictures in here. I can go back to my magazine and just cut out really cool pictures I like, and just, you know, make a collection of really cool, pretty images on the inside. It can be just something that is abstract, line, pattern, shape, using all my elements, making a design inside. A topic I really like is all about me, where each page in your book could have something that tells me about you. Something you're good at, something you like, your favorite foods, favorite hobbies, things you like to do with your friends or family, okay? But decorate or design something for each side of the inside of your page. And then again, you can come up with a cover too. There is a really great video out there that I got this from. If you want to watch more videos, okay, you can go online, you can Google explosion books, or you can Google squash books, and there's tons of video tutorials about there. I got mine, how to do this and how to fold all the papers, from Amsler Art Room. It's a video about how to make an explosion book, where she explains it really well. She's got some really cool examples of finished books, so you can always look at that if you want to. Thank you to her for helping me learn how to make them. So if you have a question, you run into a problem, you can email me, you can leave me a comment, and I will try and get back to you to help you. Otherwise, don't worry, right? Have fun. Get creative. That's the whole point. I hope you guys are staying healthy, and I hope to see you guys soon. And keep coming back here, because I'm going to keep posting new videos. Goodbye.